porte casune con un stemma a rete, una cuppulella che vi si era alzata, passa scampanianna pattuleta, con mano a papà te fa guardare.
Welcome to Cadeau and Janko Wednesdays at Lunch,
Hostile Takeover Edition.
This week we are your guest hosts, Alexander St-Laurent and
Dane McCarthy.
You've heard us on the show before, probably the two funniest episodes they've had so far. This week Dane and I are guest co-hosting because Seba and Janko, Cadeau and Janko couldn't make it, unfortunately. Seba's busy doing, I don't know what Seba's doing. You know what Seba's doing?
He's a and he's just busy. And just want to make this clear that it really is a hostile takeover. Whether they were busy or not, they just weren't going to do this. So we decided to step in and make sure that the loyal listeners still had something to listen to.
And on that note, we were promptly warned to not swear that much for editing purposes. And all I have to say to that is, Seba, you stupid or I will you right in the asshole, and I hope you stay up all night editing this bullshit, stupid little twat.
Hooer.
Janko, on the other hand, he unfortunately had a bit of an emergency. I'm a little blurry in the details. And you know what happened?
Yeah, Janko's the saint in that couple, basically. But the poor guy went on a bit of a camping trip, and unfortunately, when he came back, his cat was no longer where it was left. The supervision did not suffice. And he's basically been on the hunt for a couple days, but we're happy to report that the Casper has been found and is safe and is back home.
The cat's name is Casper.
I'm pretty sure. I could be totally wrong.
I was going to make a lame joke about the cat disappearing. His name is Casper, but
funny note though is it's probably the exact opposite type of cat that Seba is attracted to.
Seba's attracted to a lot of things, let's be honest.
Yeah, all right.
So this week, Dan and I went to a burger bar on Crescent Street, right at the corner of the Maisonneuve. Mm-hmm. We chose to go there because it just seemed like an obvious choice that the guys had overlooked in the last 70 episodes.
Yep, stayed local.
Yeah, so we stayed local. Went to is it called Burger Bar on Crescent, or is it just called Burger Bar?
Pretty sure it's just called Burger Bar. Burger Bar Crescent.
So Dan and I went to Burger Bar Crescent on Crescent Street, of course. Dan, had you been to Burger Bar Crescent before?
Yeah, I had. I'd exhausted a little bit of the menu there, so I had some, already some opinions about the place. But I trying to stay neutral, and I ordered something different, something I hadn't had before. But I'll save my reviews for 40 minutes from now, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we want to drag this out as long as possible, so Seba really is up all night editing. So So it could be 40 minutes, could be 3 hours. I hope listeners, I hope you packed a lunch as you start listening to this episode.
Yeah. It might be Wednesday at sundown by the time this is goddamn over.
This really is a hostile takeover. So attache statique, as my grandfather would say.
This could have been bitter edition. That's how Seba's going to feel once he's done editing this. Mother.
Yeah, well, you know what? While we're on the topic of bitter edition, we both have some grievances to air, I think, with the guys with the show. Well, not the show. Yeah, I guess the production in general.
Yep.
Well, you want to start?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I've been cheated by these two pricks. I mean, they had a contest real early on, right after, I believe it was their murder edition, where it was a scripted episode with, basically old-timey radio show. And
it was a good episode.
It was a good episode. And then they broke off to a Jurassic Park thing, and the initial contest was you had to guess how many references there were to Jurassic Park throughout the episode. You had to email them. as far as I know, I was the only one that entered, and I didn't remember hearing a date for the contest closing. I think I said they had about, it was somewhere between 13 and 21 fucking Jurassic Park references. But, I mean, basically 63 weeks later, and I'm still fucking waiting for that free hamburger, you cheap bastards.
Yeah. In the same vein, you know what? Before we get to my grievance, there's no laughing matter. I might be laughing, but it's no. We're halfway through the summer. I still don't have my spatula. By the way, I'm flipping my burgers with my fucking hands like a goddamn idiot.
You should see his hands; they're a mess.
Oh God. Jurassic. Have you seen the most recent? It came out last summer, I guess now. But
Jurassic World.
Jurassic World. Have you seen that?
I think it was pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, you liked it?
Yeah, I did. I'm a big fan of Chris Pratt. I think his jokes are funny.
Does he have jokes in that movie? I mean, I missed the first. I mean, unless all his jokes in the first half hour, which I missed. I don't remember there being very many jokes.
There probably weren't very many jokes, but I mean.
But in general, you like his jokes.
Yeah,
okay.
I like his jokes generally. Also, I'm pretty impressed with his turnaround. I mean, he was a pudgy guy with loads of jokes, and now he's a skinnier guy with fewer jokes, still just as likable.
Yeah, he's a very likable guy. He was one of the great cast members of Parks and Rec, of course.
Oh yeah.
But back to Jurassic Park. I caught it on TV last week. My girlfriend was watching it, and I gotta say, I was a little unimpressed. Like, I didn't think it was a bad movie.
First time seeing it?
Yeah, I hadn't seen it before.
So you're underwhelmed.
I was a little underwhelmed. I think maybe it's one of those movies you have to see in theaters.
I think maybe. I definitely saw it in theaters, and I was impressed.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't feel like anything new compared to the other ones. Well, the other ones. I mean, I only ever saw the first one, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it didn't have Jeff Goldblum. It had a ginger.
Yeah. So is that a step forward or a step backward? No Jeff Goldblum.
Well, they're bringing him back for the next one.
Oh, there's another one. I don't understand. How's the next one going to work?
I don't know. They I mean, Hollywood writers, right? They're pretty creative. But no, they're bringing him back for the next one. So I don't want to knock it before I see it. But Jeff Goldblum isn't much of an actor, right? It's basically Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
And it's he has a pretty take it or leave it attitude. Like, this is what I bring to the table.
Yeah, that's true. You know, I guess well, it's you think the attitude, you kind of got to admire it a bit, no?
I totally admire it. I wish I could bring that attitude to work and it would pay off, but it's just not going to happen.
Now, before we move on, I do want to say one thing I liked about the movie, though, was T-Rex versus mutant dinosaur at the end.
Yep.
That was pretty cool.
Yep. And everyone that was promised a spatula got one. That was a happy ending in the movie.
Now that's the kind of movie I want to watch. So, Dane, what are you talking about work? You got a hell of a job, don't you?
Yeah, it's a fucking grind, man. I mean, to say it's a 9 to 5 is a fucking understatement. Fucking work weekends. I'm a goddamn whore, and I'll basically jump through hoops for the man and earn those dollars. I drive choo-choo trains when they tell me to jump. But more or less, my responsibilities are normally just trying to sell transport. But it's a fucking hell of a job. But I mean, the highlight of the job so far this month was not working, like going on a vacation.
Oh, that's right. So you just got back from Italy.
Yep, the only place in the world that there are no WAPs.
Now, do you think they're gonna beep out WAPs? Is that an offensive word, do you think?
I'm pretty sure WAP is not offensive. Like, it's basically, it's just, you know, I'm at a loss for words here, but it's basically just, it's, you know, three initials that I'm just pronouncing together here.
Yeah.
WOP.
Yeah.
Without something papers, for all I care.
No, I think it's just without. I think the O is out, without papers.
Without papers. Okay, so it's without papers.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know because I have them. I'm not a WAP.
Now, let me ask you this. Having been to the old world, between WAPs, as you call them, and Italians, which are more insufferable between the two?
Ooh.
Now, we should specify that Cadeau is himself Italian, so we're really going out of our way to be offensive here.
Yeah.
Because that dirty Guinea prick has me flipping burgers with my fucking fingers here. So
Yeah. I don't know what would be more offensive for me to answer to Seba personally as an attack to him. But let's just say if I were fully clothed or completely undressed in an alley, I wouldn't trust either of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good time in Italy though.
Yeah, great time. I mean, they feed you well, and I mean, just different European mindset, right? I mean, the food is just fresher, made on the spot. I don't know. It's a bit of almost a rigid schedule how relaxed they are. Like you have to go for lunch between a certain hour. Like God forbid you want to fucking eat lunch after 2:30 and don't want to be, caught like a fucking tourist with your pants down, paying out fucking double the price for a shittier meal. But overall, great place. I'd definitely go back.
I've never been to Italy. Maybe you'll help me decide here. Did you have a burger while you were there?
I did not, and that's why I was craving one of those sons of bitches as soon as I got off the airboat back here, I guess.
The airboat.
I'm not necessarily a overly religious guy or religious guy at all, but the way I like to look at airplanes, just from a cartoon perspective, is it's basically God hucking this skyscraper across an ocean, throwing a touchdown back into Canada, right? Yeah,
just throwing bombs across the Atlantic.
Just what an arm on that guy.
Yeah, he's a real Tom Brady.
Yeah,
I feel disgusting saying that. I take that back. So speaking of
you might have mentioned the only bigger whore than Seba, Tom Brady himself.
Seba.
Yeah.
So speaking of you being or not being religious, you went to the Vatican, is that correct?
I did, absolutely. Left there with mixed feelings. Totally, pretty interesting place to go visit. What a trap with the amount of people that are there, and the amount of shitty con artists that are right outside the Vatican City is just absolutely disgusting. Just a bunch of panhandlers trying to, screw you out of a fucking nickel. But largest museum in the world. They allegedly have been purchasing these historical artifacts throughout the year, but let's face it, they've been taking it just like they took the innocence of those young boys.
Oh,
but no, largest museum in the world. I mean, really. In like one perspective, I'm thinking this is damn grotesque. The amount of wealth that they have here, like they just sell off some of this. The amount of good that they could do helping other people, and then I mean at the same time you're thinking that Nero's ruby marble bathtub, if that was in the hands of some like porn freak, basically just shooting scenes in it, I don't imagine it'd be in the same shape that it is today. So I mean. A lot of that stuff is preserved, and we could see it today thanks to these,
rapists. So what was the most Italian thing of all the Italian things you saw in Italy? What's the thing that struck you as being the most Italian?
I was shocked that everyone is actually a plumber. They all wear overalls, and they're all plumbers.
That is shocking.
Yeah, I don't understand how the economy. I mean, I now understand why the economy is so bad because, I mean, who runs the restaurants and your banks and your hospitals if everyone wants to be a plumber?
Yeah.
But that was definitely the most Italian thing. Definitely the most Italian thing there. They also have this weird fucking fetish for leather gloves. It's like 40 degrees Celsius outside, and every second shop is selling like purses and leather gloves. It's just wrong place, wrong time. It's like Italian logic or something.
What were they, like cycling gloves? Like what kind of?
No, like the gloves that I'd want to like. No, I definitely wouldn't want to wear because they were lady gloves. But these furry, leather gloves in a variety of colors that you would wear in the wintertime. That are sold in these shop windows all over the place, all over Rome.
Yeah, but you were there in it's July.